Another thing that's really important, I think, when moving around is moving around efficiently with the keyboard. I almost never use the mouse. I'm not particularly militant about it, but I just don't use the mouse when I'm moving around in Text Editor. For scrolling, definitely, but when it comes to moving around inside of here, you won't find me clicking around here too much unless I'm doing like a demo or something. I generally move around very, very fast with the keyboard, so let me show you how I do that. So the first thing I want to do is, let's go ahead and move up to the, so suppose I'm like somewhere on the page. If I want to get back up to the top, well, the way I'll do that is I'll hold the Command key and hit left to get to the end of this line. And then I'll hold the Command key and hit the up arrow to get up there. There are other ways to get there, but that's just the way that I like to move around really, really effectively. So you can always use Command and then up or down to be the most extreme movement. So Command down will be the very end of a file, Command up will be the very beginning of a file, and so forth on a line too. So Command right will be the end of the line, Command left will be the beginning of the line. So if I'm just somewhere random in the file and I want to get to the beginning, it's very easy. I just pop right up there. See that? The next thing I want to show you is vertical select. So when I built this, list of people originally, I built it with vertical select. I'm going to go ahead and delete it now. I'll show you how I built it again. So I had people on one line, and then you'll notice what I did is I separated this array, and Atom will go ahead and give me automatically kind of like break it up very nicely for me. So then I'll go ahead and I'll create these arrays. When I write the left brace, when I type the left brace, it automatically gives me the right brace. I'm going to put a comma in there, and I'm just going to paste these, so now I have several of these in a row. Now I want to have multiple people here all with the same attributes. So what I'll do is I'll select in the middle of this array, and then hold Control Shift, and then click the down key a couple times. So now I have a vertical select line. What I can do from there is I could actually type into that vertical select. Oh, Adam. Sorry, Adam was misbehaving a little there. Okay, so I can type into this vertical select. So I could say name, and now see I'm typing in the same place so I'm typing in the same information into all of those. So here I'll just kind of leave placeholders for the stuff that I might want. So here I know I'm going to have a string, and then age, and then I was going to have some numbers. So maybe what I want to have is 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe these are my ages. And then here for names, maybe I'll start with Fred, Lisa, Jeff, and Mike. All right, so now I've got some different people in here. So that's pretty cool. Now, another thing that I think is pretty cool is, in addition to selecting, multi-selecting to create information, I can also use it to pull information out. So for example, if I wanted all these names, I want to get to a multi-select again, so I use Control Shift down. Now I've selected all of these things. And now if I hold Shift, I can go through and select all these names at once, copy them on my clipboard with Control C, or Command C, and then paste them all here. And now I have all the names. See how I pulled it right out of this array? That ends up being pretty useful. To keep going in reverse, here I'm going back to the multiple select. I can clean up those quotes if that was something I wanted. Or if I wanted to quote them, I could do it the same way. Notice what I'm doing here is I know that I want to go select all the way to the beginning of the line. So I'm going to use Command Shift left. And now I've got the whole block. And then I can quote them. So here I'm just going to say Shift quote, or just regular, the way you would normally type a double quote, and see how it wraps it all up for me. That's just Adam being really, really smart and knowing that whenever I have a double quote in programming, I'm always going to want a single quote also. So that's pretty cool. Another piece that I think is really useful is what's called incremental selection. So if I select a word and I use Command D, I can actually select subsequent usages of the same word. So this is really useful if I wanted to, say, make a replacement. So here, if I wanted to change person to be user, I just went ahead and I selected all of the persons and then just retyped it to be user. This could be the same thing on this line. So suppose I wanted all of these ages to be different. I can use Command D over and over again, and now I can say, now I'm going to call that property cares. How many cares do they have? Or cars. How many cars do they have? So that's very, very easy for me to change those up like that. Let's see. Other things that I might do. Let me just kind of show you how I might clean up. Suppose that I wanted to kind of reformat this a little bit so that I had the name and the cars each on their own line like this. So like now in this kind of syntax of each of these hashes is going to be kind of indented a little bit. If I wanted to do that, I definitely wouldn't do it like that. That would be a real pain in the butt. Instead, what I would do is I'd use a vertical selection here. So I'd say Control Shift across all those. Now I've gotten them onto the new line. So now what I'll do is now I want to move forward by words. So I can use Option with my right arrow key to move forward by words. And see how by moving forward by words, it doesn't actually matter. These all happen to be the same length. Let me go ahead and make them different lengths so that it's more obvious to you that this is really cool. Fred, whatever. Lisa, this. Jeff, that. Mikey, Q. Okay, so these are all different lengths now. So do the first thing. Now, since they're all the same length, even though they're all different lengths, by word means that I'll actually skip over them. So now I'm at the delimiter, the comma. So now I don't need that white space. So I delete that. Now I move to cars. Go to the end. What if the cars were different lengths? What if I had like this? What if I had this kind of thing plus that? Maybe this one even had another key. Ones. I can fix all of this stuff here. It's not actually no big deal at all. So now I've got cars. I know the last one is going to be a. So what I've done is I've multi-selected the cars. So Apple D, Apple D, Apple D, and then I'm going to move to the end of the line with Command Right, and then I'll just punch in a little bit, 2 lefts, then hit Enter, and now I've pretty much got everybody in the right place. This isn't quite where I want it. I want to de-dent this, so I'll use a Shift tab. And now I've got everything almost right. Lawns here is sticking out in the wrong place, so I'll go ahead and just fix that by hand. But at this point now, I've formatted all of this guys very, very efficiently without a lot of effort. And that's the kind of thing that we clean up. That's the kind of thing that programmers do all the time, is clean up text. So to go backwards, what I would do is I just say Command D, Command D, Command D, get all those opening braces. Bring this back onto one line, go to the end with, here I used Apple Right, here I'll just use Command Delete, will delete all the white space. Here I used Option, Shift Option to select that space there, replace that. Those are basically in the right place, but what I need is now I need the closing braces. So again, I'll use Command Delete, the Shift, Option Shift to get all that white space, and then those guys are basically in the right place. And lawns here is going to stick out and just a little bit off, but easy enough to fix up. So that's moving around the editor. The key tricks again being incremental select, which is Command D, vertical select, and then also moving around by letters and words. So Command is the most extreme, so that's always going to be the whole file or the whole line. Option is always by word, and then Control is usually used in other circumstances. So Control Shift is for vertical select, and so forth. So that's moving around the editor.